everywhere on social media, dude. So I think it's hilarious, man. I just assume one of these days you'll just run for mayor and just make it official.
I get joked about that a lot, but it's not anywhere near my plans of my future is being the mayor.
Things turn, man.
I get that, but I know what the mayors go through, and I just don't think. I don't know.
It's not in your future.
I don't think it's in my future. I like the position where I'm currently at in being involved, trying to have some influence, but not actually being in that seat.
Well, you're definitely doing that. I think it's cool. It's like everything that you're doing with what's happening in Southern Utah.
Yeah, what's happening in Southern Utah.
And I didn't want to butcher that, so I'm glad I got it right. And then even when someone says like, what's going in, I think someone had put in what's going in the mall.
Mm-hmm.
And then people were like, Macrae. Like they were all tagging you like, dude, will you answer this question while everyone's just like speculating?
Yeah.
So it's cool, man. Like the influence is definitely there. And so it's a cool thing to have. And like even our friendship, I've even reached out a few times or even just follow what you're doing to know. And I know a lot of people are doing that. Like when they wonder what's going on in certain areas, they're looking at you. They'll go click your page. I mean, that's cool though, dude?
It's kind of crazy. It's crazy to think about because like I've been doing this for like 7-8 years now. But really it's been the last like year or two that it's really, that compounding of consistency and just being in those conversations more and more and more. It does compound. Yeah. And so some of the things that like I hear that people say, it's still kind of like not even real to me, like the influence that I do have. And I still try and deflect and play it off because I'm just not like, I'm not someone that loves attention. That's why it's funny. Cause like, yes, I'm on social media a lot, but I'm so not that the person that wants to be on social media. I just know the power of it. And I know, I've got my lane that is there. But my content is a little bit unorthodox, but it's so informative that people just love it.
Yeah.
And it's been fun. So I get joked to be the mayor and certain things, and I'm like, no. But I am happy to be the nosy guy that knows, tries to know what everything going on.
Do we know where that joke started, the unofficial mayor?
I can't remember who the first person was, but it was during the last election in 21. That a few people on Facebook started saying it,
like writing you in.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, I'm not interested. And then this year it's been even more, but I'm like, no.
Well, it's cool to think of how long you've been doing that because, I mean, how often do you hear people being like, man, I'm 6 months in and this thing just ain't working out?
Yeah, it happens a lot.
I mean, It's more often than not. I mean, that's why so many small businesses fail, even going all the way to the scale of businesses versus just content, right?
Yeah.
And I had no idea you were doing it for that long.
Yep.
And so when you said that, I was like, dang. I mean, because I've known you. I mean, I've known who you were for a long time, but I've like personally known you since
probably
3 years.
Yeah, probably 3 or 4 years, I would say.
And so yeah, I think it's probably just the algorithm on Facebook when they see our phones in the same room, they start pushing me your content.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know that, and for the longest time, it wasn't very many views, and I just tried to, and I still, I look at views because obviously that's just part of it, right? And you want to make sure that your stuff's getting out there, but it hasn't always been like views or die, right? Or like it's like, oh, I'm not getting views. Like, what can I do? I just kept doing what I was doing. I kept getting feedback, and I just kept. Like I've just always maintained the same thing. And so for the longest time though, I wasn't really getting many views. And I remember people would be like, man, your stuff's so good. Like, why aren't you getting more views? I'm like, really, I don't pay for ads. I don't pay to boost it. I don't do any of that. And I've just slowly built an email list along with the social media following. And I feel like there's the consistency and just knowing that it will take time because there are a lot of people that want to put content out. They want to start a business. And it gets hard and they're like, oh, well, that didn't work after 3 months or after 6 months. And It's like, no, that's not how it works. And so I see it a lot of times, like in the real estate business, because people, try to get leads and they're doing mailers or they're doing this online lead system and they put out one mailing, thing and, didn't get any calls. So I guess we'll go somewhere else. Like, no, It doesn't work like that. And it might work like that short term, but if you want to build a long-term business, which is what I'm trying to do, then you just have to think about long-term and you just have to do the small things.
Well, it's almost cliche to say, but it's exactly what you've done. It's like, I'm not going into it looking for the views and the analytics of it. Like, sure, I want people to see it and make sure that your content grabs enough people that they keep watching it, right? And then, but two, it's like, it's never been a revenue stream for you directly off of that, right?
Right.
And so those two things combined, I think it makes it genuine. And then it's cool because it's something that you're curious about.